Welcome to Energy Anatomy. This module, the aura. The aura is active and intelligent. It is your first line of defense against disease. It is also the matrix upon which the body is built. Without the aura, the body cannot be. Phantom pain is a good example of this. For example, often an amputee from the knee down will actually massage the missing foot, the foot that is no longer there. That is because the physical body has been taken care of, but the auric body has been left behind. Similarly, this is why cancer recurs. The cancer is removed from the body, but it is left behind in the aura, ready to fester and pop up again just whenever it feels like it. Most commonly, we try to see the aura or some layers of it. However, seeing the aura is not as common as it used to be. Essentially, we've lost the techniques and skills that came naturally to our ancestors. What's different? What has happened? We have cluttered our brain waves with the frequencies of television, radio, computers, and all sorts of electronics. And we have blotted out the frequencies for seeing the aura. So we have to be retrained. If you have had your aura picture, you will know that a person's aura represents any one or all of the colors of the rainbow. We may see it, we may feel it, sensing where anomalies exist. We may hear the flow of energy, or in rips and tears. And we need to look in multiple layers to explore it. The aura is commonly presented as having 7 layers, although people agree that there are at least 9, probably more. The first layer is the etheric layer, second the emotional, third the mental, fourth the astral, fifth the etheric template, sixth the celestial, and seventh the etheric template. Layer number 0 will be handled in a different part of the class. Layers odd 1, 3, 5, and 7 tend to be somewhat solid, eggshell in consistency, whereas the even layers 2, 4, 6, and 8 are all gaseous and bubbly and should be always flowing, fluid in nature. Etheric layer number 1, the aura. This is the layer or matrix upon which all physical body odd is anchored. It extends 1/4 to 2 inches beyond the physical body. It appears as a bluish-gray haze, more properly as sparks of blue or gray, light moving around the energy lines. The color ranges from blue to gray representing a more robust athletic type of person, and blue being associated with a more sedentary person. It pulsates about 20 cycles per minute. You may be more familiar with seeing this as a bluey line around a flickering candle, but you should be able to see it around your finger as well. If you put your finger against a plain background, about arm's length away from your face, and gaze at it, you will slowly notice that a haze appears around it. Now move your finger, and the haze should move with the finger. Move it back and it should continue to move. You found the first layer of the aura. Layer 2, the emotional layer. It is associated with all the person's feelings. It is fluid and gaseous, and it extends 1 to 3 inches beyond the body. The color can be quite bright, or in contrast very muddy. All the colors of the rainbow can be here. And this is also the layer, most commonly where we can see all the chakras. But remember, if it's muddy or stale or stiff, it's not healthy. It should be very bubbly, bright, and in continuous motion. Mental layer 3, the aura. This mental layer is associated with thoughts and mental processes. It is one of the more structured layers, like an eggshell, and extends 3 to 8 inches beyond the physical body. It is usually first seen as a bright yellow light radiating around the head, neck, and shoulders of the person. It appears stronger and pulsating when the person is concentrating on mental tasks. Depending upon the thought, colored sparks may even emanate from this layer. Layer 4, the astral layer. It is also called the bridge layer because it bridges the physical plane with the spiritual plane. It is perhaps the most important layer. It is also where astral cords are formed and astral travel occurs. It should be bright, colorful, and gaseous, and 1 to 1.5 feet beyond the physical body. Etheric template layer 5. This layer holds the blueprint template of all that exists on the physical plane. It is one of the more structured layers and extends 1.5 to 2 feet beyond the physical body. This layer is a negative photograph template of level 1, the etheric level. All physical forms are here on the template level. The celestial layer, layer 6. This layer is harder to see as its colors are shimmery and pastel. Many people describe it as a mother of pearl color. This layer is the level which expresses one connection to God and where unconditional love flows. Etheric template, layer 7. This is the layer where we know we are one with God. It extends 2.5 to 3 feet beyond the physical body. This layer is composed of rapidly pulsating golden shards. It is the strongest and most resilient layer of the aura. Cosmic planes, 8 and beyond. The cosmic plane is comprised of an unknown number of layers, at least 2. The function of these layers has yet to be explored or agreed upon. Maybe that's for you to do. As promised, auric layer 0. Yet not well known, it can be found between the physical layer of the body and the first auric layer. A normal, healthy layer 0 is golden and syrupy, evenly distributed and hugging the body. Unfortunately, it is usually in an abnormal state and difficult to recognize. It can sag, stretch, or have bumps and lumps just like any other aura layer. Its function is to communicate between the aura, chakra, and meridian systems, to let them sync up. Perceiving the aura. Auras exist for all living creatures, not just humans. Plants and animals also have this glowing bubble around them. Inanimate objects also have a form of an aura. This makes learning to see the auras easier, as we can practice on the more patient creations, such as plants, as they don't complain. You may have difficulty seeing the aura, but you will perceive it in one of many ways. You can see it, which is called clairvoyance. You can hear a static, clairaudience. You can have a feeling, pricklies, as clairsentience. You can just know where it is, that is claircognizance. Most people have one dominant way of perceiving things, with the other ways present to lesser degrees. Where to find an aura? Everything has an aura. The aura of inanimate objects are crisp and static. The aura of animate objects is shimmery and pulsing. Yes, fluffy and roving are auras too. 1 minute of warning. Street drugs alter the aura by warping and twisting it. They form holes, fractures, grooves, and more through the multiple layers. The aura becomes unstable and often does not respond as you would expect to energy treatment. I would not advise working with anyone who has warped their aura on drugs. Viewing the aura. Start with layer 1. Why? Because we know where layer 1 is. Each layer, depending on the health of the individual, can be a different distance from the edge of the body. So if you're starting at the outside and working your way in, you have no idea where you're starting. But if you start with your finger at the base level of the skin, looking for the blue fuzz and working outward, you'll know what you're looking for. If you're looking at the aura where it should be, and you don't see it, but you notice your hands prickling, or hear a buzzing and static in your ears, that's when your other clair is telling you found it. Your eyes aren't finding it for you, but your ears or your hands are. That's also a valid way of sensing the aura. Disease is called auric disturbances. They are common but vary in size, shape, color, and density. Disturbances can be on one layer or across multiple layers. They can be associated with other disturbances in other layers, or cause bulges, malformation in the adjacent layers. The goal of an energy healer is to be able to spot disturbances and determine what they are affecting. This disturbance might be right over a physical organ. Unless masked by medication, the stronger and deeper the color is, the more entrenched the disturbance is. The layer containing the disturbance corresponds to the chakra, which corresponds to the body part. Each layer has an associated chakra. Chakras are energy processing centers in the body, each with a different attribute that shift energy from the auras to the physical body. Chakras are like vortexes with front and rear entry and exit points. Since each chakra is associated with a corresponding layer of the aura, and of the same number, problems in the chakras can be reflected in the corresponding layer of the aura. This is important because a problem not successfully taken care of in the chakra will appear in the corresponding auric layer before showing up in the physical body, giving us the opportunity to rid it at the auric layer before it affects the physical body. On another section of this course, we discuss things that can be seen in the aura, layer 0, the red line, personality types, etc. Things in the aura. The best way to notice things in the aura is to practice. I had a partner at one time, and we had a little office and a favorite place to go for lunch. So every day we go to lunch with our little notepads and pick a person in the restaurant that was obviously not going to leave real fast, and we were sketching in our little notebooks what we saw in the person's aura. Day after day we do this, and day after day our responses would be so wide off and so inconsistent. I wondered why she could be wrong all the time. And then one day we came back from our lunch, and she said she'd seen a yellow butterfly with black dots on it. I threw my hands up in the air, and then I had an aha moment. That is what she had seen. She was very glitz, very glam, and this is what she had seen. What I had seen, a plainer, down-to-earth person, was a hinge. Duh. Both these things have a center post and flappy parts, with spots on the butterfly where the holes were in the hinge. We had both seen the same thing, but had not known it. Which is why if you see something in a book telling you should see a little circle here or a square there, you may not. This is simply how the author has seen it. You will see things in the aura in a way that makes most sense to you. We later discovered this was one of the markers for high blood pressure. Keep your aura nice and clean, just by standing in front of a fan, letting the wind blow through you. You remember when you used to stand on a hill and let the wind blow through your hair, and you felt like you lost 1,000 pounds by the time it was over. Same with water. Taking a shower when you come home from work, you feel like you've lost the day after you've showered. If you prefer smudging or selenite, that is fine too. And in a later episode of this topic, we will get into cords and cord cutting, which will also help you stay crisp and clean. Practice, practice, practice. Practice in business meetings, airports, and coffee shops. When you can automatically see the fuzz almost immediately, look just a fraction beyond and you'll notice a flash of pastel color. This is the second layer. There's no reason why any of you should not be able to determine if a person has disease, angels, guides, or ancestors in their aura. Simply look at a person in the L that forms between their neck and their shoulder. Just glance your eyes carefully across it. Just notice what you notice. Don't look for anything, just notice what you notice. And if your eyes are stopping at a point, stop. What's different about that area? Now, still holding that area in your eye, ask your client to move to the right or to the left. Does that spot move with them? If the spot moves with them, it is disease or something connected to the body of that person. If the spot doesn't move with them, it is an angel, a guide, or an ancestor. You may not be able to identify what it is, but at least it'll get you started. This is a basic overview of the aura.